Here is the overall failure of the Democratic Party. The absolute dumbest people on the planet, just genuinely so stupid, so dumb, capitulating and caving and saying that they will help Michael Johnson. What an incredible event, dude. God, I hate this country so much. I hate the Democratic Party from the bottom of my soul. Holy moly, dude.
Breaking news here in Washington unfolding right now. The House of Representatives has just voted to advance foreign aid bills that have just been passed. Manu Raju is up on Capitol Hill. I take it this rule vote, this procedural vote, Manu, passed.
Can you describe your level of frustration, Congressman?
What do you make of that?
Okay, I'm here with you, Wolf. We're trying to get a question to Marjorie Taylor Greene here because she, of course, is a key player at this moment because she has threatened to actually try to move forward on a motion to oust the sitting House Speaker, and that could happen at any moment. And she could call for a vote. That could happen within 2 legislative days. And the question will be how Democrats will vote, because at the moment, there are at least 2 Republicans who plan to vote to essentially push him out from the speakership because of his handling of this major aid package, $95 billion that includes aid to Ukraine in particular, which has caused this revolt on the right flank. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, I just tried to ask her, is today the day? Is today the day she's going to actually move forward and push ahead with this vote? She would not answer. She said, I'm not going to answer any questions. It was actually kind of unusual, Wolf. She has been answering lots of questions all along, but this time she didn't want to do it. And I asked her why she's not answering any questions. She would not say. So we'll see what that actually means here. But, Wolf, this key procedural vote just passed in the House. I'm pulling up the vote right now. It looks like it was 316 to 94. That was the vote to actually move ahead on this aid package. Now, this is why this is such a significant and interesting breakdown. This is a bipartisan vote. Typically, these procedural votes are done along straight party lines. The majority party votes for it. The minority party votes against it. That's the way it's been done in the House for years and years and years. This time, different because of deep Republican divisions over this foreign aid package. A number of Republicans simply don't want this to come forward. And in this vote, there were Republicans who voted against it. There were 55 Republicans who voted against it. That is a significant number of Republicans. There were 151 Republicans who voted for it. But Democrats, because of their desire to move ahead on this aid package for Ukraine in particular, 165 of them ultimately supported this rule to going forward, meaning that this bill, the overall aid package, will get a vote on the House floor tomorrow, and it can be approved along by a majority vote in the United States House, which is what we expect. So a lot of moving parts here, Wolf, but the 2 main things we're watching here. What ultimately happens in the final vote on this bill, which is expected to pass the House tomorrow. Then it'll have to go over to the Senate. The Senate will have to give final approval to send back to the president to sign into law after months and months and months of battling to get this across the finish line. And then what happens to the future of the Speaker of the House? Can he ward off this revolt on the far right? And will Democrats come to his defense? All key questions here. But as you saw right now, as Marjorie Taylor Greene was leaving this vote, she did not want to comment about whether today was the day she would actually call for that vote or what her thinking was in trying to kick out the Speaker.
I want to get straight to CNN's Melanie Zanona on Capitol Hill. Melanie.
Look, Speaker Mike Johnson's job is certainly at.
I'm behind the lore of this bill. Why are Republicans angry on the bill? Republicans are angry at the bill because it gives money to Ukraine and also because Republicans like to fuck shit up. I'm angry that the Democrats won't allow Mike Johnson to die. The fact that the Democrats are like, we have to give money, like we have to pass these bills no matter what. It's a must pass bill, bipartisan support. What? My man just said Muslim. What is that even? What are you saying? Anyway, the fact that the Democrats won't allow this political chaos to run the table once again because it gets in the way of passing a lethal aid package that also includes like economic aid to Ukraine and things of that nature as well, but like ultimately it is a lethal package. But they're like, oh, we have to fucking put this through. Hundreds of billions of dollars we have to give them everywhere, all around the world. And now that's what's fucking popping. That's what's going on. Like that's what the conversation is around. The fact that Democrats would not allow the Republican Party to just like implode once again is so stupid.
Risk here. He is on very.
And they did that specifically because they wanted to pass this. They wanted to pass this weapons package. That's it, which is crazy.
Thin ice, but he knew heading into this day that putting these foreign aid bills on the floor and needing to rely on Democratic support to do so was going to spark an uprising. uproar on the right. But it is still a very rare moment here to see Democrats support these procedural votes. Just historically, they've always been done
Yes, this says aid for Israel and Taiwan
along party lines. And in this case, more Democrats actually supported this procedural vote than Republicans. I want to read you the vote breakdown because it's very interesting here. 165 Democrats supported that procedural vote and just 151 Republicans voted for it. Now, Johnson says he's not worried about his job being at risk here. And he also delivered a very forceful defense of this foreign aid package, which will receive a final vote tomorrow. Just take a listen.
Wait, is this real?
It's not the legislation that we would write if Republicans were in charge of both the House, the Senate, and the White House. This is the best possible product that we can get under these circumstances to take care of these really important obligations. And so we look forward to the vote tomorrow. We look forward to every member voting their conscience and their desire.
Yeah, they also added the TikTok ban to this too, by the way. It's great. Just so you know where our priorities lie. Oh, they decoupled it? I thought they added it.
And that is exactly how this process is supposed to work and how the House is supposed to operate.
Now, Green has not taken steps yet to actually force a floor vote on the motion to vacate, and the House has adjourned for the day. So the earliest this could actually come is tomorrow. But given the fact that there are now 3 Republicans who have signed on to this resolution, that means Johnson is going to have to rely on Democrats in some way to bail him out. Now, Democrats have not made any commitments so far, but they have signaled some willingness to help Johnson keep the speakership. And a large part of that is because of the Republicans who are behind this effort to oust Johnson. Dana.
Melanie, thank you so much for that reporting. Joining me here now is Republican Congressman Dusty Johnson of South Dakota, who came over after your vote. Thank you so much for being here, sir. What does it tell you that this is a procedural vote? And for those watching at home, they might not know that it's this kind of vote that is almost always strictly along party lines. You heard that the speaker argue, well, maybe that's not a bad thing, that this is how it's supposed to work. That's not how.
Here to talk about Michael Penis is our other friend of the show, Dusty Penis.
Some in the right flank of your party see it. What does it say about Speaker Johnson's leadership right now?
I think it says a lot of positive things about Mike Johnson's leadership. If Mike Johnson just wanted to play the standard political games and be safe and make sure that everybody in our conference loved him, he would have played it.
God, America truly is a failed nation when you have motherfuckers who were named Dusty in proximity to power. I'm sorry, it's done. It's over. The project is done. We have failed. Hit the factory reset button. Let's try it again. Like, there ain't nothing wrong with being named Dusty. It's just that, like, you can't be a representative. Like, you should not be allowed.
It's safe. He wouldn't have been willing to cobble together this bipartisan strategy. But if Dan, if you pull the lens out, pull the camera out, what just happened? A group of bipartisan members came together and said, let's have a conversation about Israel. Let's have a conversation about Ukraine. Let's put these things on the floor tomorrow and let's have a vote. Isn't that how our system is supposed to work?
Yes, but bipartisan is a very dirty word for people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and now Paul Gosar and Congressman Massie.
Isn't it great? There's always bipartisan compromise to be found when it comes to a fucking $100 billion weapons package. We always find a way to hold hands together. Obviously, this would be the last opportunity before Brandon kicks the can, kicks the bucket, either dies or loses the presidency. So this is like one of the last instances where the Senate has the opportunity to push for a massive bill like this. And that's precisely what happened.
The 3 of whom are saying that they support the idea of kicking him out for the high crime of bipartisanship.
Listen, I don't have to be happy with the reality, but I do have to accept the reality. If you're going to govern a country, you don't get to live in fantasy land. The Democrats are in control of the Senate. Republicans are in control of the House. That means under our constitutional system, it is literally true that no bill can ever become law unless you've got votes from both sides of the aisle. It's a pain in the butt. I get it. I just think it's time for the grown-ups, the big boys and the big girls, to figure out how to govern a country, and it's going to be messy sometime.
Bro, your name is Dusty. Shut the fuck up. You literally come from a town with more cows than there are people. Shut up, bro. Dusty dick. Anyway, democracy's a pain in the butt, but luckily we can always get together and join hands when it talks about killing Palestinian kids. Let me tell you something now. As a South Dakotan, nothing warms my heart like the thought of baby spines eviscerating with a laser beam, laser guided missile system that was made in one of our beautiful South Dakotan factories. Hell yeah, brother. Tell you what, that's American ingenuity right there. Thank God for America. Thank God for Israel. And thank God that we have an endless supply of children to blow up. This creates a lot of jobs in my state. What do you want us to do? Fuck our cousins all the time? We gotta fucking have jobs. I love freedom, baby.
I just want to read you a couple of quotes. A Democratic Congresswoman Grace Meng tweeted last night, Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries is essentially functioning as the real speaker already. Tom Massie, who I mentioned before. The U.S. House is now officially in an alternate universe where the speaker shares procedural power with the Democrats.
It is true that when
Aren't they blocking aid to Ukraine, the ones that are losing and really need it? Oh, yeah. This is why bills are written in the way that they're written, so that dumbasses like you either willingly or unwillingly turn around and go, I don't understand. This is Ukrainian aid. Okay, separate it then. Also, matter where the aid is going, ultimately, the wise political move in this circumstance is not to give the Republicans a W for no goddamn reason when they are literally desperately offering the Democratic Party a W. Classic silliness. It's like, yeah, oh, but I don't get it. It's like the one, I guess like this is one step more intelligent, I would say, than literally saying, what do you mean? It's called humanitarian aid, sir. They're actually delivering humanitarian aid. See, 9 billion of the 100 billion plus is going to be humanitarian aid for Palestinians, sir. See, they put it in the bill. Why do you want Palestinians to not get humanitarian aid? That's the dumber point that you could have made. I'm glad you didn't at least make that dumbass point, and also understand that, you know, these could be separated. And I think they did separate them. Ultimately, this is my anger here is not allowing the Republican Party to destroy itself. They should have done that, but they didn't. It doesn't hurt to allow the Republican Party to consistently show the goddamn country that they do not know how to govern. That's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. I'm saying this as like, I put my Democratic Party cap on, okay? There it is, me wearing my Democratic Party hat, telling you that as a Democratic Party consultant, that at the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. There's no way they can't figure out how to split this up and get what they want. They've done it before. I know. And I think and Mike Johnson's idea was to split it up. Are you doing that Southern accent ironically? If not, I got some news concerning where the location of South Dakota. Bro, you think I don't know where the fuck South Dakota is on a map? My man's name is Dusty Johnson. Okay. You are spiritually below the Mason-Dixon. I'm sorry. South Dakota is spiritually a Southern state. That's it. That's it. Come on, man. You literally have a dude who's a representative with the name Dusty. The name is called South Dakota. It doesn't get more Southern than that. Half of the Midwest, and yeah, no, that's exactly the other part. It's like half of the Midwestern and Plain states love to LARP as Southerners. Like Ohio is a Southern state now, just so you understand. I'm sorry, you might not like it, and many parts of Ohio still very much are not the South, but most of Ohio is the South. Ohio is a Southern state. Doesn't matter what it did against the Confederacy. Literally, you see more Confederate flags in Ohio than you do in the Deep South. What do you mean? That's it. It's a spiritually Southern state. And if you lose Ohio, then what else is there to have? Think about that. We're talking, these are union states that played a prominent role against the scourge of white supremacist slavery. When you lose that, you might as well the rest of the Midwestern states, 100% are just Southern. I grew up in Arkansas, and I've seen more Confederate flags in upstate New York. Oh, that's another part. Upstate New York, also spiritually Southern. Gutted towns, post-industrial towns, gutted, dead, ghost towns, literally just straight Southern.
Republicans are not united, when we don't have when we don't have people backing the speaker's play, then you do give a certain amount of power over to the minority. It's amazing to me. I mean, I try to be a pretty good teammate. When you've got a quarterback in the huddle with the 11 football players, says, gang, it's going to be a running play. Now, it may be that somebody on the offensive line disagrees with that play call, but if you want to be successful as a team, you run the damn play. Not all 11 players get to call their own play. And now you could try it that way, but you're going to fail.
You think Hajola would be successful in the USA? I hope not, because if Hajola, I think you're talking about the baklava place, right? If you're talking about the baklava place, if they are successful in the USA, I will develop diabetes and I will gain. Oh, they make lahmacun? Oh, okay, same. Still, point still stands. I hope it never comes to America, and I hope it never is successful in America, because I will get diabetes. I will gain 100,000 pounds. I cannot stop myself. On the television, I cannot stop myself from eating Turkish food, dude. Don't you have diabetes already? No, I actually have low glucose, turns out. I got my blood work done. Results came back. Cholesterol still high. And and the only thing that's like outside of the boundaries of like normal is my glucose levels are so super low. Probably because I only consume diet soda and diet products and alcohol sugars and shit. And then that ends up tricking my body into producing insulin. So I don't know. I'm just making it up. I have no idea why my blood sugar is that low.
And so that's the situation we're in right now. I wish people understood that we could get more conservative policy wins, which I desire if Republicans stuck together.
I want to play something that you told my colleague John Berman just days after the Republicans, 8 Republicans, ousted Kevin McCarthy back in October.
If we don't change the foundational problems within our conference, it's just going to be the same stupid clown car with a different driver.
Never mind. He said my cholesterol panel was much better and LDL, bad cholesterol, lower as well. Still higher than it's higher than it's supposed to be, I guess. But I guess it's better overall. He said labs look great overall. Glucose level slightly low when you came in. So if fasting, that's fine as long as if you are not feeling weak and disoriented from hypoglycemia.
Hardliners, they're a real problem. And I don't think the pyromaniacs are going to be satisfied after they've burned down one house. I think they're going to have an...
Why does the Republican, why does CNN have a Republican on? Because he's talking about how bipartisanship is great and how this is not what the Republican Party represents. And CNN has a vested interest in presenting the Republican Party as like genuine and not a bunch of psychos, and that these psychopaths in the Republican Party don't represent the broader psychopathic nature of the Republican Party. That's why. It's just like trying to make it seem like this democracy is working. Guys, it's working. I promise. Please.
Itching to go burn down a couple more.
Is that what we're going to see tomorrow?
My testosterone levels are also
smart.
within normal
it was almost as though
reasons
he
as well. But
foretold
it's not higher. It's just average, which I don't like. I wish it was higher. I asked Bradley Martin. Okay, this is kind of weird. This is funny, but Bradley Martin is someone who I actually send my blood work to. You guys might not like it, but you can't deny the results. Okay, my man knows blood work. To which he said, that's not a bad level. The thing with test levels is that everyone feels different at all levels. It's more about how you feel than anything, to be honest. Once your sex drive and energy levels dip, then you really feel it, then it's a problem. So I said, oh, okay, so I'm good then. Just don't want to lose the hair. Normal testosterone levels varies widely person to person. ChatGPT 4 clears most doctors and blood results analysis unironically. Dude, please. The shit you take for your hair fucks up your T levels. Well, if my T levels are still fucking pretty good, in spite of the hair pills I take, then turns out, also that guy was so stupid. I have to explain something to you guys. Please don't use ChatGPT as a substitute for actual medical analysis. Oh my God, we are becoming dumber and dumber. ChatGPT clears Bradley Martin? No, it doesn't. Shut up. He also gave sound advice, for the record. And also, remember, I'm literally asking my doctor as well. It's not like I'm simply relying on Bradley Martin. My doctor gave feedback on my blood work.
This was going to happen.
Same clown car, different driver? Is that what's going to happen tomorrow?
Pyromaniacs who want to burn it down. This is what I said during the last speaker fight, that getting rid of Kevin McCarthy was not going to make America stronger. It hasn't. It wasn't going to deliver more conservative victories. It hasn't. And that, in fact, it was going to destabilize my party, destabilize the House, and hurt America, and that has all come to fruition.
Don't worry, Swifties. We're getting to the thing that actually matters. This sucks. I don't care about this. Let's move on.